So this is a quick little tutorial on how to play Crusader Kings. First thing you're going to want to do is start a new game. And up at the top here, you get a list of time zones you want to start in. I like to start in Robert's Rebellion because it's talked about a lot in the books. And you can pick any one, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and go with the custom game setup. And then you get this beautiful map. So up at the top here are lords, high lords, and lord paramounts. And let's go through those. Lords are like they own individual pieces of land. High lords they have vassals. A little step up, and paramounts are like Eddard Stark and Tywin Lannister and stuff like that. So I like to go to high lords because you have vassals, and it's a nice easy start. And so just click on one you want to play and play them. Doesn't matter which one. This screen will then pop up and go ahead and start the game. So you're going to get all these messages. Read them. Yeah, maybe you should, but just they don't matter too much. Make sure the game's paused first, top right. And then I like to go to the bottom right of the screen. And I like to click this opinions button. And that's where I play most of the game. This tells you who hates you and who doesn't hate you. Your character is at the top left right there. And once you click on him, it shows this like yellow ring around what you own. And so that's important. It helps you. At the top here, you get some icons that tell you what's wrong. And if you click on them, it'll take you to where to fix it. And down here, we see that we don't have a justiciar. So we're going to go ahead and appoint one. Click on the diplomacy. Make sure that it's just the person with the biggest skill. You add them. Then you can go ahead and tell them what to do. It doesn't really matter. You can, you can tell them to just do stuff. Read these little icons. Learn what they do. It's not that big of a deal if you don't really know what they do, but just make sure they're doing something, because usually it's good. For the spy master, you can have him build a spy network or scheme. I just have him scheme in the areas of the people who don't like me so much. And then just tell your maesters and priests to just do whatever. It doesn't matter. But yeah, just read over that stuff. And then you can see once you take care of it, it disappears. And then we have special and minor titles. And the only one that really matters is a designated region. Because once your main character dies, it goes to your son. And if your son is too young, a regent will take over. So at the bottom left, or you just pick the guy who likes you the most. And then for all of these others, doesn't really matter. Just pick the guy who likes you the least, because it'll make them like you a little more. Because these are like honorary titles; they don't really affect the game, to my knowledge. So I go ahead and give all the people who hate me some titles, make them happy. And you can't really assign any bodyguards if you don't have any, so don't bother with it. Now we need to choose an ambition. First things first, you're going to want to get married. And so go ahead and click on that one. Yeah, get married. Okay. And so let's find a wife. And there's this little ring icon down below the wife. And you can click on that to arrange a marriage. And it'll bring up the screen. And I like to just sort the ages from least to biggest. And find someone between the ages 16 to 35. And look at their traits. See what's about them. And if they look like someone that you would want to marry, probably go ahead and marry them, Just make sure they're young enough to have kids. Because if they can't have kids, then your game isn't going to be very long. So I went ahead and I picked this lady right here. I don't remember. But I did look a little more. But I ended up going with her, I'm pretty sure. Because she's good at diplomacy, and all around good person. So why not? And make sure it's not matrilineal. That's like not checked. And then okay. And then you can just unpause the game from here. And all you have to do is wait. And then you can speed it up if you want. No big deal. But and don't worry about speeding it up, because the game will pause whenever you get a notification like this. So I think that's, yeah, it's nice. Yeah, you can, once you get notifications, just read through them. They'll make sense. And we got married, so now we need to pick another aspiration. We want to have a son, because if you have a son, that means when you die, your son gets all the land you had or whatever, all the titles, and that's good. And so the next thing that you're probably going to want to do is to make your council better. So what I like to do is I like to go into the people menu at the bottom right and click on that, open up this menu I'm looking at right now. And you can sort by skills, like who has the highest skill. And you can invite those people to court if they have a thumbs up. If they have a thumbs up, they'll actually come and join your court. And you can replace those people. See, this guy joined my court. He has a high diplomacy skill, and I'm about to add him, replace him. So if you look at my my justiciar, his skill is only 10, and that kind of sucks. And so I invited this guy to my court who has a 17 skill, I think it was. And so I just replaced him. And I went ahead and I did this with all of my guys, my treasurer, spy master, because it doesn't really matter. And if you see a guy that has like a sort of hand sign, you might have to give him a little gold. So send a gift. If it's worth it, 15 gold is a lot. So you can send a gift and then you can invite him. So eventually you're going to want to take some land too. And this guy owns some land, and I think I'm going to take it from him. And so, yeah, I'm just going to click on him, right click, whatever. Yeah, make sure he doesn't own a bunch of different lands. Just one. If he owns just one, it'll be a little easier on you. And once you become more powerful, you can move up. But I want to take this guy's land, so I'm going to get my justiciar, and I'm going to tell him to fabricate some claims. And we spent time getting a good justiciar, so this shouldn't take long at all. And it really didn't. So here he is, fabricating claims. And it took about 2 minutes, and then, yeah, there it is. He said, oh, I finished the claim, and we can use it. And let's do it. So this is very exciting. I can right-click on him, and I can declare war, but it's grayed out. And why is that? Well, it gives you a little checklist of all the things that you need to do. And one of the things that's not checked is we can't already be at war with each other. And so it turns out this guy, he joined the Targaryens in this war. And so I basically have to wait until the war's over. And so this is a while later. The war's over. And it's a lot of a waiting game. And now I can declare war. And so I'm going to click on my claim, send it to him, and we are declaring war. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go into my military. Or pause the game first. Yeah, there we go. Go into my military, and I want to get some mercenaries. Because my guys, it might not be enough. So I go get the cheapest mercenaries, which is about 65 people, I think is what it says. I can't read too well. And I'm going to hire them, and I'm also going to raise my levies and my vassal levies. And I'm going to hover over them all, and I'm going to send them over here. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut to the point where they're already there in order to save a little bit of time. And, excuse me. So they're on their way, telling them to go. And once they're there, my wife is pregnant. Okay, that's good. I'm going to send him over there. And what sucks is that he sent all his men into Winterfell the second that I moved over to save his men's life. But it's not that big of a deal. I don't care that much. So I'm going to go ahead and wait till that bar. If you go to look at the left side, and there's a defender's bar, and it's slowly decreasing. So we're basically doing a siege at the moment. And once that defender bar goes all the way down to 0, our siege is complete and we can ransack or whatever. So it's almost there, and pretty soon we get a notification saying that, hey, we sieged. It was actually automatic. I didn't have to click anything. Oh, but I had a daughter. I guess I would go ahead and name her. Yeah, sometimes you gotta try multiple times to have a daughter and not, or to have a son or whatever. But here it is. I've captured him and all his family and whatever. And so you can decide what to do with him based off of whether your character's a good guy or not. But we did it, and so the first things first, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to click, and I think it's up near the top. And here it is. We can offer peace, and we want to make sure that we enforce our demands and then send it. And then there it is. The war is over, and we get to decide if we want to let him just be one of our vassals or do we want to take the land for ourselves. And I'm a bit greedy, so I went ahead and I took the land for myself. And after that, that's it. I don't know why that was blank, but and if we click on our character portrait, it shows that we now own that land. And there's a lot of stuff I didn't go over, like plots and stuff, but I think this is enough to have fun with the game. Because whenever I first got the game, I got it because I knew there was a Game of Thrones mod. And maybe I should have thought about it, but I got the game and then I didn't play it for years. And because it was just too confusing. And I think this is enough to start having fun. And once you can start having fun, it becomes fun to learn more about the game that way. And so there's a very basic, bye. Yeah, bye. All right.